Some 70,000 people live in a cluster of communities under evacuation downstream from the earthen dam on the rain-swollen Guajataca River, Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello said in a late afternoon news conference on Friday. Cristina Villalba, an official for the island's emergency management agency, said there was little doubt the dam was about to break. Governor Ricardo Rossello went to the municipality of Isabela on Friday night and told Mayor Carlos Delgado that an evacuation there was urgent, his office said in a statement. Rossello said the rains sparked by Maria had cracked the dam and could cause fatal flooding. Puerto Rico's National Guard had been mobilized to help the police evacuate all necessary areas, Rossello said. People had begun leaving nearby areas, but one small community was refusing, and Rossello instructed the police to step in under a law that mandated them to remove the local population in an emergency, the statement said. Villalba could not say how many people had already been evacuated, or how authorities were communicating with residents to organize the evacuation. Path of destruction: Maria, the second major hurricane to savage the Caribbean this month and the most powerful storm to strike Puerto Rico in nearly a century, carved a path of destruction on Wednesday. The island remained entirely without electricity, except for emergency generators, 2 days later. Telephone service was also spotty. Officials confirmed on Friday at least 6 storm-related fatalities in Puerto Rico, an island of 3.4 million inhabitants, 3 from landslides in Utuado, in the island's mountainous center, 2 drownings in Toa Baja, west of San Juan, and a person near San Juan who was struck by a piece of wind-blown lumber. Earlier news reports had put the island's death toll as high as 15. We know of other potential fatalities through unofficial channels that we haven't been able to confirm, said Hector Pesquera, the government's Secretary of Public Safety. Debt crisis: Maria struck Puerto Rico as a Category 4 storm on the 5-step Saffir-Simpson scale as the island was already facing the largest municipal debt crisis in U.S. history. The storm was expected to tally $45 billion in damage and lost economic activity across the Caribbean, with at least $30 billion of that in Puerto Rico, said Chuck Watson, a disaster modeler at Inky Research in Savannah, Georgia. Elsewhere in the Caribbean, 14 deaths were reported on Dominica, an island nation of 71,000 inhabitants. 2 people were killed in the French territory of Guadeloupe and 1 in the U.S. Virgin Islands. 2 people died when the storm roared past the Dominican Republic on Thursday, according to media outlet Al Jazeera. Maria churned past Turks and Caicos Islands on Friday, then skirted away from the Bahamas, sparing both British territories from the brunt of the storm, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It still had sustained winds of up to 125 miles per hour, 205 kilometers per hour, by late Friday, making it a Category 3 hurricane, but was expected to weaken gradually over the next 2 days as it turned more sharply to the north. Storm swells driven by Maria were expected to reach the southeastern coast of the U.S. mainland on Friday, the NHC said, although it was too soon to determine what, if any, other direct effects it would have. Maria passed close by the U.S. Virgin Island of St. Croix, home to about 55,000 people, early on Wednesday, knocking out electricity and most mobile phone service. Irma, one of the most powerful Atlantic storms on record, killed more than 80 people in the Caribbean and the United States. It followed Harvey, which also killed more than 80 people when it struck Texas in late August and caused flooding in Houston.